What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, and we bring you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream over on Twitch daily at This Is Aftersound is the username. So come by, say hello. We do giveaways every stream, and we do giveaways every week here on the channel. All you have to do is leave your in-game username in the comments, and every week on the weekly Q&A videos, I go through, pick out my favorite ones, and send you some DEC in the game. All right, so got something a little different here for you. This is more so a broader crypto market news item that I think has a lot of implications for gaming and specifically Splinterlands. So we're going to dive into this, and I'm going to try and break it down so that it's just relevant to those of you who are following what's happening in Splinterlands or are just interested in what's happening in Splinterlands. But if you are interested in reading it and diving deeper, this is something in the cryptocurrency subreddit posted by the user Belgian Politics. And it's really just about the regulation or regulatory framework or upcoming proposed regulation, I should say, for the EU and European Parliament, which could be massive. Now, there's another YouTuber, Elio Trades, who did a full breakdown of this. And if you're interested in seeing a video version, go check that out and check him out. He's one of the YouTubers that I follow and has a lot of great information on his channel. But again, that's more crypto focused and not gaming focused. So the point of this video is really just to break down how this affects Splinterlands specifically. So, as I said, this is regarding, an upcoming proposed regulation. Belgian Politics went through and already did kind of the TLDR, did a deep dive into this and broke it down for us. So, where I want to focus is really on these first, 4 areas which are great, are great news, I should say. So, let's go ahead and start with crypto assets that are unique and not fungible with other crypto assets. There are no proposed regulations. So that means NFTs, including digital art and collectibles, meaning every single card that we have in the game, there are no proposed regulations. Now, keep in mind, just for those who may be unfamiliar with this at all, we don't want any regulations. We want this to be a Wild West for the time being, right? Well, at the same time, we want there to be regulations in the future that can protect investors but until then, right now, what you do with regulations and the reason that there is a fear for certain types of regulations is that they could be stifling for the industry as a whole. And right now, we really need as much innovation as possible. This is the last frontier, or I shouldn't say the last frontier. It is the main frontier right now, going into this whole kind of digital metaverse space. So crypto assets that are unique. So NFTs, no regulations. B, utility tokens, no regulations. So utility tokens means a type of crypto asset which is only intended to provide access to a good or service supplied by the issuer of that token, aka SPS, right? SPS, if you're not buying this, and I'm sure many people are buying it for the profit, but what is SPS? SPS is a governance token, meaning that it provides some type of utility. So there will be no regulations or no proposed regulations on that. C, crypto assets offered for free, no regulations. So crypto assets where the receiver does not give money, fees, personal data, or commissions. This I applied to the rewards cards that we receive, airdrops, things like that, especially with the SPS airdrops. That is great because no regulations either. And then D is the one that I'm probably most excited about just in terms of crypto and DeFi or decentralized finance overall. But crypto assets that are automatically created as a reward for the maintenance of the DLT or the validation of transactions in the context of a consensus mechanism, no regulations. I know that was a huge word salad. What is this referring to? Staking. So the fact that we stake our SPS and earn a reward for staking SPS as part of maintaining, I suppose, the network, even though, again, this is centralized. So it's not a perfect definition, but this was loosely translated to staking. So the fact that on these main 4 things, all of which I feel apply very specifically to an NFT or crypto game like Splinterlands, there are no proposed regulations is phenomenal news. Now, again, this has nothing to do with taxes. Taxes, you will still have to pay your taxes, and you'll have to figure that out based on your location and your country's tax code and all that good stuff. But what we don't want to see is for example, this is EU based, right? So in the US, they're talking about anything that's not Bitcoin and anything that's in DeFi, for example. The SEC is calling it a potential security, meaning that most of us would not be able to trade if you were US based. And I don't know what it's like for other countries, but obviously I feel as though the rest of the world is really looking at how the US and China are focusing on crypto and what that play will be, right? Decentralized versus a very centralized country. So the fact that we're starting to see some type of regulation come out, or at least proposed regulation in the EU, which again is still a very big player, to me, this is awesome because it sets a tone for the rest of regulation, at least in the Western world, right? There's a lot of US allies in the EU. In fact, I mean, I'm pretty sure the entire EU is a US ally, but it's very encouraging, is what I should say, to see that this is being proposed in the EU, because if this gets proposed and potentially passed, that creates a framework where, I don't know that the US will want to be in direct conflict where we take the opposite stance on crypto and go more towards the stances that, China has had on it. So this to me is just fantastic news. This post, I should say, has been making its way around crypto Twitter and crypto YouTube. So definitely check it out if you're interested. I wanted to break it down, like I said, just for Splinterlands specifically. But again, this applies probably to a lot of NFT games out there that follow a similar, or same, I should say, identical framework to Splinterlands, where people are going to be owning assets that they can then play with, these assets being NFTs, and there might be governance tokens that are involved. Axie has the same thing with their AXS token. And this covers airdrops and staking. And to me, this is just awesome news. So hopefully this is something that will get passed in its current form and doesn't get manipulated, or if it does get changed, it'll be changed for the better. But again, it's exciting. We hear about this happening, this kind of a mainstream adoption happening all over the world, but mainstream adoption happens in so many different ways, and regulation and into law is just one of those. And the fact that we're getting some very, I should say, crypto friendly, or at least crypto, like open to crypto being allowed to flourish and to see where things go, that type of regulation I think will be great for the space as a whole. And especially with something like gaming, there's so much out there, beyond Splinterlands, but even within Splinterlands too, they're planning so much within the game itself that it would suck if there was any kind of roadblock that would stop the game developers, including the Splinterlands game developers, or at least make them pause and have to say, hey, is what we're doing legal? Are we going to get, in trouble for this? Maybe we should hold back. Maybe we should put it on delay, or whatever the case is. Right now, it's just, hey, you got an idea, get it out there. And the fact that there's no regulations is something that I think will be good for the short, medium, and long term. Obviously, regulations do have a place, and I would hope that they come in at a time when the crypto space as a whole is a little bit more mature and we understand where things are and where that regulation is needed. But as of right now, you don't want to stifle innovation. So no regulation, no regulation, no regulation, no regulation in the context of Splinterlands is awesome. So that's all I have for you guys today. If you find this content fun or valuable, please consider liking and subscribing. It's a free and easy way to support the channel. I will catch you guys in the next video, and I will see you around the game.